I love Durham for the simple fact that it feels like home.
I really love the diversity of Durham. I love the culture of Durham. I love that Durham Public Schools works hard to make sure that our students are receiving what they need.
Middle schoolers, that's an age where developmentally they are going through a lot of changes and transitions, and that does have an impact on their mental health and well-being.
I have noticed that a lot of students around me have struggled with belonging and mental health issues.
A lot of students, we get stressed and we feel very worried, and we feel that we don't have people to talk to.
Well-being is like a vital part of school itself, and if you aren't mentally okay with how you're feeling, or if you aren't in the right space, it could affect how you learn, affect how you interact with your peers.
In our communities of color, mental health is not something that's talked about as much, but I think it really needs to be.
Everyone talks about creating a safe space. A space is not safe just because we say so. And one of the first things that must happen is to build trust.
In 2021, we turned to community and formed an advisory council to make sure that the solutions that we were bringing into the schools and into this district were informed by the community that would be receiving that support, which ultimately led to whole schools as it is now, the 4 pillars, and even selecting the model schools based on their demographics and how they reflected the larger and broader demographic of Durham. Our model schools, Neal Middle School and Southern School of Energy and Sustainability, both have embraced wellness at the center of their students' experience.
Neal is a super special school. The students that I work with here, they've been nationally recognized for their work. But regardless of if you're a student who struggles academically or if you have a 4.0, students do wrestle and have questions about their belonging inside of a school space.
Sometimes when you're going through stuff or you feel uncomfortable doing things, school becomes something that you dread, and it's not something you like going to.
The whole schools movement has allowed students to have space like this one that we're in to actually breathe a little bit, free of, the rest of the structured aspects of school, and they can just create and share things and just have a chance to recenter themselves.
Neal Middle School hosts wellness days, and these days really are for the kids.
I believe that wellness days are really good for students because it has us a lot more excited. It's a good relief because especially around the end of quarter when grades are being finalized, everyone's really stressed. So to have a wellness day as a relief for everyone, it's really good for us.
The Mental Health Revolution Bootcamp was a 5-day bootcamp where students focused on different topics and different guests would come to visit, whether they were mental health professionals teaching about basic terminology so young people can name their experience, to videographers and digital content creators coming out and supporting students and creating their own game show about mental health.
I really enjoyed the bootcamp because it made me feel like, wow, there's still people who really care about how we feel. And it made me feel like I meant something and that it's important to care about how your peers feel because you never know what's going on.
It was enlightening, actually. We all had a class discussion about things that we went through, how we feel, our own struggles, and that really opened everybody up to everyone, and it made it a very safe space.
I worked most closely with community education, providing mental health first aid trainings.
We are training our social workers and counselors in their DBT and CBT skills so they can run groups.
The teachers are definitely getting better with seeing signs early on.
If you're struggling at home or anything, you're able to talk to them about things like that.
We have been effective at being responsive and not reactive, and we have been able to serve students and families more effectively because we have taken time to build relationships.
We've been really proud of the outcomes that we've seen, and we are hopeful that some of those practices are scaled. And so not only do we have alignment with the district, but also with our partners and with our community.
The biggest way that this work can be expanded is through bottom-up energy. We need resources to do the work, but the students should be leading the expansion of any opportunity that comes, because that's what's going to sustain it at the end of the day, is whether or not they believe it's something that is worth their time.
I love the fact that me only being 14 can contribute to such a big change and help other youth be heard.
I can't imagine if this was expanded, how many more kids would be interested.
If Durham can be a leader for what it means to address mental health and well-being and center that as the essential foundation for learning, I feel like our students can be a model for how students thrive in our public schools and be a model for a crisis that is impacting the entire nation.